And nobody got more welfare than Wall Street. Hundreds of billions after operating falsely. And nobody went to prison, that's where you lost me. But my home, my job, and my life is what it cost me.
And I can't be judged for who I am. Eso pasa por salir a trabajar.
That's why Rosa sat on the bus. That's why we walked through Ferguson with our hands up. CO2 levels got the whole planet heated up. Stand up with the First Nations and the people that been living here for thousands of years. Stand up.
Slave chick, are you getting eliminated? I say, we fear you. Yeah.
Hello everyone, my name is Craig Mitchell and I'm so excited to be a part of this night. Massive shout outs to the Music to Life crew for putting this together, and what an intro. So before we get this thing started, I want to remind you that within these walls, on this dance floor, there's no such thing as gay or straight, white or black, man or woman. We're all one people, united by rhythm. Enjoy tonight and welcome.
Craig, thank you so much.
Thank you, Liz. How are you? It's so good to see you.
We are here. It's good to see you too.
After months of working on this, and we're finally here.
We're here.
And we're celebrating Pride.
We are. We're going to have you back soon. Okay, cool.
I can't wait.
Okay, awesome. So welcome, new and returning friends, to a new and improved season of Brave Troubadours. I am your host and Executive Director of Music to Life, Liz Stuckey-Sundy. And many of you know Music to Life was founded by me and my dad, Noel Paul Stuckey of the 60s folk trio Peter, Paul, and Mary, to support the work of musician change agents in communities around the country. Working behind the scenes tonight is our amazing team. Esme Cole is producing. Randy Hareth is managing the comments box. And this episode of Brave Troubadours has support from the ASCAP Foundation, Winooski Strong, thank you, Craig, Mascoma Bank, Big Heavy World, Radiator 105.7, and it really does come down to you, our amazing viewers. I sort of feel like I'm on public radio, but truly, we now, here the viewers are on YouTube and Twitch and also Facebook, and we are seeing people from all over the place. I know Randy's going to be collecting wherever you're coming from. It's wonderful to see, and we really rely on your continued support to produce these shows, and we deeply, deeply appreciate your donations and your artist tips. And if you have comments, suggestions, artists we should know about, themes you'd like to see us explore through music, please do drop those in the comment box. Get in touch by email. Check out our website. We really, really want to make this Brave Troubadours the best show it can be, and you will be helping us do that. So thank you. And now I have the great pleasure of introducing my co-host for this evening, Taylor Small. Aside from being one of the youngest politicians I've actually ever had the privilege of getting to know, Taylor is smart, warm, kind, and so committed to a wholly inclusive Vermont. So we're actually going to use this amazing video to further introduce her just a minute. So here you go.
I think what I've seen, and it's something I experienced when I ran when I was 23 as an openly gay person, was that it gives others that inspiration that they can do it as well. We've heard from folks who are like, I might run now. And I think that that's really kind of what it's about. It's about invigorating folks that they can actually do this. This isn't just something, there isn't a glass ceiling for this. It takes a lot of work. There is a certain amount of privilege that you have to have, but we've seen people be really supportive, and because of that, we're going to see this happen. This is really exciting.
Taylor is the most energetic and compassionate person I think I've ever met, and not just because I'm her mother. She has always looked out for others. She's been very empathic, and she always looked at people that had less than us and would say, how can we help them? And when we moved to Vermont especially, she just came into her own and became just such an amazing woman. I am so proud to be her mom.
I'm Taylor Small, and I approve this message.
I think what I
Almost there. There you are. Although
Thank
I could see the video again and again and again. Truly, I could. That is just a fantastic video. Very inspiring.
Thank you so much. I think my favorite part of it is getting to see my family be a part of that video as well. So glad to have them be a part of this evening. And thank you so much for having me as a co-host, Liz.
It is a treat. Should we do our thing? Wait, which way? This way.
Oh my
Ready?
goodness. Okay.
You have to go this way. Yes.
Right? Oh my God. That was a good one.
Well, it's great to have you. And we're going to give folks a quick overview of the evening. First, just as some of you know, Brave Troubadours is a monthly artist showcase. So we offer live performances and we intersperse that with stories and videos. And our goal is to bring you artists who are performing and working in the space of social justice. And in this case, LGBTQIA advocacy. So Taylor, we've got some Vermont artists with us today. Do you want to just kind of highlight who we're going to meet?
My goodness, I would love to, especially we're celebrating Pride Month here in Vermont. We like to do a lot of things differently here, but to have such a showcase of amazing queer artists, such as we get to start off with Steph Pappas and the Steph Pappas Experience, bringing Craig back in with the duo Craigan, and then, steal my heart. We also have the Smittens here this evening, and they are just, my goodness, internationally recognized, but of course, always true to Vermont. But I know we have even more performers joining us as well.
So true. Yeah, they are dear. And yes, we also have visiting from Los Angeles, international recording artist Maggie Szabo. And also Darren Perrin at WCIX-TV put together some news footage of Vermont's civil union movement. So pretty cool. And I know I always like to sort of just offer some goals for this evening. I know that one of my hopes for those that are joining us tonight, whether you're coming from the local area in Vermont, or whether you're coming from far away, my hope is that this offers a little bit of inspiration to sort of keep those hopes and dreams alive for just a kinder and more inclusive world. Because I feel like we just on a daily basis, we can go in and out of feeling like, are we on the right path? And I know you and I talked about that a little bit in rehearsal, Taylor, but I just feel like these are tough times to keep hope alive.
They are tough times. And yet I think the importance of doing this during Pride, or reminding us during Pride, is the power of community. That we're not in this alone. And that is just what I cherish so much. And is why I wanted to be a co-host this evening, is because this is my community that we're celebrating, both right here in the state of Vermont, but as we recognize across this nation. And yes, as you highlighted, there is so much that it has been difficult, especially in this past year and a half, and really just hard. It's been hard. But at the end of the day, I know that I have people in my corner. I have my family of origin, which I am so lucky to still be connected to. But I also have my chosen family, which really enriches and warms my heart. So
true. And we've talked about the arts. We've talked about the incredible power of the arts, throughout. And so that's something this evening is really a gift. So do you want to go ahead and introduce Steph?
I would love to. And kind of speaking of arts, I've always appreciated that intersection of arts and activism, and actually used to do a public access TV show. The only reason why I stopped, Liz, is because, let me tell you, when you're doing public access, you're essentially doing it all on your own. But this stunning performance that we're about to watch is from a local country music singer, but is so much more than that. Give it up for Steph Pappas and the Steph Pappas Experience singing Your Cowboy.
I'd be the prettiest cowboy you ever did see. I'll be the most rugged cowboy ever could be. I do everything better than a cowboy could do. I'll be a real cowboy, I'll be with you. I'll be your cowboy, I'll be your cowboy, I'll be your cowboy, I'll be your cowboy. There ain't nothing like searching for gold. There ain't nothing like hanging by the river on a hot summer's day, searching, hoping gold will find its way to your heart. I'll be the greatest cowboy you ever did see. I'll be the most rugged cowboy there ever could be. I do everything better than a cowboy can do. I'll be a real cowboy, I'll be with you. I'll be your cowboy, I'll be your cowboy, I'll be your cowboy, I'll be your cowboy.
Oh my goodness, how amazing. And if you are anything like me, that is now going to be stuck in your head, not only for the rest of the evening, but when you want to listen to it again, you can of course stream on any streaming service there is out there. I think what I love about Steph is her versatility in the work that she does. So the reason it's called the Steph Pappas Experience is because each time it's a new band that she's getting together and jamming with. And I think her activism is just as versatile. I remember the first time I met Steph, it was actually the first time I was living out on my own, and meeting her on Crombie Street and having her introduce herself as the King of Crombie will be an unforgettable experience, and letting it be known that community was there, as we were talking about before, that we can come together and that there are people that have your back at the end of the day. And continuing on this theme of pride, I'm really excited to highlight the work of the Vermont Folklife Center and their Pride Portrait series that they're doing in collaboration with the Vermont Queer Archives. And here we get to listen to a clip of Steph that she recorded just reflecting on pride and what that has meant for her. So let's listen to that clip.
I remember being at the Gay Pride, and some of the women were afraid of having their pictures taken. We noticed a lot of cameras and stuff around. I remember a couple of the gals, oh, we could get fired from work. And it's true. That was kind of what the times were like back then. If they had seen a picture of you in the newspaper, it was possible that you could have been fired from your job. I was in a band with a bunch of women. And I believe we played upstairs Nectars, which was also the same area that the Women's Center was in. That was my first all-girl band.
Okay. There she is. Hello.
Hey, Steph, welcome.
All right. So I was nudging Steph. I was like, man, you were just getting into it there. I wanted to hear it's okay. That was your first all-girl band. And then I wanted you to finish that clip, but I don't know what happened to the archive.
I don't know if it goes anywhere. Hey, everyone. How y'all doing?
Doing well,
Really
Steph.
nice to have you here. Really nice to have you here.
So it's some nice things y'all saying about little Steffi over here.
Yeah.
Well, just show the impact, Steph. That's true.
Maybe I was going to go on and say something about the same day that it was Gay Pride, that first Gay Pride. My roommate and her girlfriend got busted at one of the cafes downtown and thrown out because they were holding hands under the table. They weren't doing anything. They weren't out of context or doing anything weird, but I guess back then that was considered weird. I mean, we got thrown into jail back then. Wow. I'm old school. we were thrown in jail. You were holding hands with a lady on the street. You were thrown in jail.
Wow. Well, we have some footage actually, thanks to Darren Perrin I was mentioning, that sort of takes us back a little bit to that time, which we'll play in a moment. But it's interesting, Steph. I was sharing this with Taylor when we first moved to Vermont. This was in 2000, and so there were all those "Take Back Vermont" signs all over barns. And in all of my innocence, we were moving from New York City. We're like, oh, Vermont, take back Vermont. Oh, that must mean take it back for the progressives and and unity and all this. And then, of course, no, it was a reaction to the very legislation that we're going to kind of, going to look at this news clip and see, but that's what the reaction was, right? And they're trying to raise money for, to repeal the legislation and to elect officials that would repeal it. And, so that was quite something. And Taylor and I were talking during rehearsal about how it's just, I think there are some romantic visions of anywhere that you live. Maybe, oh, look, and here's Vermont in particular and all these. And it's not that we don't have a lot of great things going on here. It's just a reminder, this story is just a reminder that there's always more work to be done. So,
and our histories are still here. There are places in Vermont where you can still drive and see a barn that has "Take Back Vermont" painted on boldly and proudly. And it reminds us of exactly what, Steph, you were talking about, the history that we can't forget, where we have come from, the fight that has already been done for the rights that we have today, but knowing that fight needs to continue so that we do truly have equal rights across our community and all communities here in Vermont, but I would say globally, of course.
So true. All right, we're going to, go ahead.
The Take Back Vermont signs were mostly heading towards New Hampshire. And I remember cutting through New Hampshire and going over to Maine to a women's dance or something. And I remember we were downstairs in the church and we were firebombed. But nowadays I've gone back to Maine. Yeah. And in a church, though, which is weird. The church opened up to the gay people and then some other people wanted to firebomb it and make the dance stop. So I went to Maine about a couple of years ago and they were like, boy, Maine and Vermont have really come together. If we could just take that state out in the middle. And I was like, wow, this is new.
Interesting.
Thanks for having me, y'all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Steph.
It's such a pleasure.
Star-studded people.
And Liz, I think that's the take back, and maybe it's the Northeast with the progressives now. Maybe this is the progressive movement that we're trying to get started here.
Well, I tell you, we painted a flag on the side of our barn, and I almost felt like I needed to put a little sign down below it saying, "Let's take this back for for the progressives." But yeah, absolutely.
There's also a thing where it's still Dem progressive too. A lot of people are still identifying as Dem progressive, and some people are still Dem, but they have some of these progressive ideas, but they're trying to keep the Dem party where it's supposed to be instead of going cuckoo like the Republicans kind of went off. Yeah, it can go on. Don't get me going.
All right. Well, let's just look at what Darren has shared with us, because it's sort of interesting to look back a little bit in time and enjoy that. Thanks for being with us, Steph.
And thank you for joining us. We have some breaking news. It's World Pride Month. Hey everyone, it's Darren Perrin here at Channel 3. And speaking of pride, I am so proud of our brave little state, so proud of our community. I grew up in Vermont and have witnessed alongside all of you how we have led the nation, the world, in creating a safer and more equitable place for all of us, from civil unions to marriage equality. Here is a look at our journey together.
Weiss of those voting yes, 79. Those voting no, 68. And you have chosen to read H 847 the third time.
Civil unions law went into effect after midnight. Caroline Allen and photographer Lance McKenzie begin our team coverage of this historical day.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
With a few quick signatures, history was made in Brattleboro. Just after midnight on July 1st, Vermonters Carolyn Conrad and Kathleen Peterson received the first civil union license in the state.
Okay. Answer me now, I am calling. How cold is the night? How cold are these times?
Surrounded by friends, media, and some interested onlookers, Conrad and Peterson made it official and held a public ceremony to celebrate the landmark event.
And since you have received the legal recognition to form this union, by the authority vested in me by the state of Vermont, I now declare you joined in civil union.
Isn't that what I was trying to say?
This is an incredible first step. And also to be able to actually now not be a second-class citizen anymore, at least in one state.
So for now, the newly joined couple will head back to Massachusetts, where their civil union will not be legally recognized. But they say that doesn't matter. For them, the union is symbolic of their love, and they were just glad to be a part of history. Caroline Allen, Channel 3 News, Brattleboro.
Yep.
Maybe it's just because I'm in the legislature and love to fangirl about what we've done there, though it is a very historical moment here in Vermont. We are also the first, and I believe the only, state to pass same-sex marriage via legislation versus doing it through the court system. You know, two ways to pass the laws, or at least correct them.
Fantastic. Thank you for adding that. Thank you. The brave little state that could, man. Brave little state
Keep on chugging, and you know.
Chugging. It's so true. All right. Well, we are going to keep moving here. More musical talent to come. Craig, you met him at the top of the show. I still can't believe it because he's such a presence here in the state, but I just met Craig earlier this year. And he is an amazing social justice organizer, as well as just being this incredibly versatile artist. And I think the thing is he's so balanced. You know, he just brings so much to the table. He's got this voice, he's got this sort of performance style, and he's going to be embarrassed about this, but I researched and I found that it is said that he fathered and cultivated the dance music scene in Vermont. And apparently he's in the process of redefining the art of DJing, because he not only mixes the grooves, but he belts out songs and he dances continuously during his shows. So no wonder you can never get in touch with this man on the weekends, because he is booked solid. Anyway, but he also has this side of him, and you'll see this in these two upcoming videos, which is super chill. And he's created this, you know, he's got this duo with Matt Hagen, Cragen, and he chills with a guitar and offers his lovely voice too. So, and Taylor, I know you have some insights on him too, but.
Oh my God, my love for Craig is boundless because of exactly what you were talking about. Maybe it's a Vermont piece and this versatility in the art scene, but I have had the pleasure of working with Craig in so many capacities. A couple that I'm going to highlight, of course, is Winooski Strong. So I have the ultimate pleasure of serving the great city of Winooski, and the work that Craig has done to really show that equality and equity is here in our brave little city is beautiful, is so beautiful. And I will say, I've also had the opportunity to perform with Craig when he does his Prince tribute. That is a true sight, especially when he brings drag queens out to perform along with him. So I cannot get enough of Craig, and I'm so ready to see these performances from Craigan.
Awesome. Let's hear it.
Ready? I'm ready. I think so. Great. Also, what are we ready for? I don't know. We ready to get paid? Let's get paid.
When will we be paid for the work we've done? When will we be paid for the work we've done? When will we be paid for the work we've done? When will we be paid for the work we've done? Work this country from shore to shore. Our women cooked all your food, washed all your clothes, baked all your cotton, made the railroads go. Worked our hands to the bone, and you love the mill. But when will we be paid for the work we've done? When will we be paid for the work we've done? When will we be paid for the work we've done? When will we be paid for the work we've done? Fought in all your wars and every man to keep our people free, all the children, every man. Every time that we ask for pay alone, that's when somebody tell us that we're wrong. We can beat up, call names, shot down and stone. Every time we do right, somebody says we're wrong. So when will we be paid for the work we've done? When will we be paid for the work we've done? When will we be paid for the work we've done? When will we be paid for the work we've done? Give it all our sweat and all our tears. Struggled through this life for more than 300 years. We're gonna separate from the land which we knew. Stripped up all our culture, we know that's true. So when will we be paid for the work we've done? When will we be paid for the work we've done? Oh no! When will we for the work we've done? When will we be paid for the work we've done? Will we ever be proud of my country takes me? Will we ever be able to sing out loud, sweet land of Italy? Say when will we be paid for the work we've done? Tell me for the work we've done. Will there ever be peace and harmony? When will we be paid, you and me? When will we be, oh, what we've done, oh, when will we be paid for the work we've done? When will we be paid for the work we've done?
Smoke. That was smoke.
Oh,
Yes, Craig.
hello.
Hello, hello.
Well, I'm still actually trying to get over the tears from your intro of me. So thank you so much. And the tears also from Darren Perrin's video. That was a really, amazing time. My friends Brian and Tom were one of the couples that sued the state, as well as a couple other friends of mine who are amazing, amazing people. And looking back on that and their struggles to try to bring equality to everyone else. Some people will say it was selfish. It wasn't. It was all about everyone else. They wanted everyone else to be able to have the equality that everyone else has. And wow, I'm sorry. I'm full of joy and full of love. And the fact that this is happening tonight, Liz, thank you, and Taylor, thank you for hosting. But this means so much. It really does. As a person who's 50 years old and didn't have this 30, 40 years ago, and didn't feel comfortable to be myself 30, 40 years ago. And to be here now today to say I'm proud, I'm gay, and I'm black, and I'm celebrating loving life and myself. And we have our first trans state representative sitting here with us. Oh my goodness. Times have changed and times are getting better. There's going to be struggles, but we're going to get there.
Oh my gosh, you should see what's happening in the backstage right now. People backstage are like, oh, that's so great. It's the, we used to do these shows on Zoom so you could see people's reactions, but I'm just telling you, there's the whole party going on backstage right now.
And,
celebrating.
Man. So. Wow. I just talked to my dad, who has been texting me, who's watching. Hello, Dave. Hello, Dad.
Hi, Dave.
And I just texted him and said, I can't stop crying. And he said, I can't either. And if I can share one story. So I'm at St. Michael's, and he's my chosen dad. And Dave Landers from St. Michael's College kept coming into the student activities office. And he could tell that I was struggling. And he would always bring up this organization that he was starting called Outright Vermont. And he said, I'm starting this thing for gay people and LGBTQ people, blah, blah, blah. And in my head, I'm going, why the hell does he keep bringing it up around me? Because I was struggling. I wasn't ready. But I'm like, what does he see in me? And then months later, I finally went to him and I said, Dave, give me the number. And I was part of one of the first groups of Outright Vermont. And I can say today that Dave and Outright Vermont, I wouldn't be here alive without them. So thank you, Dave, and thank you, Outright, and everyone who's still living and surviving and doing their thing. It's all because of the folks that came before us. So thank you to them all.
Thank you, Craig. Oh, sweetie.
You're welcome. Thank you. This is amazing. They're happy tears, by the way. They really are happy tears. It feels like I'm sad, but I just can't stop crying. But they're very happy tears.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Well, it's interesting because I was going to ask, because you have this other amazing video that you've offered us, and it is so poignant and so for so many reasons and in so many different ways. And I was going to ask you, although I feel like you've kind of already done it, to sort of, what is it about this particular moment that makes this next song, that puts this next song into sharp kind of contrast?
Right. Well, you look at the world, and you look at the George Floyds, and you look at the Breonna Taylors, and you look at even what's happening with the woman who just got found in Wyoming. Meanwhile, there are tons of indigenous women that are missing, and nobody has talked about it on the news. There are people of color that are missing that no one's talked about on the news, but they pulled out all the stops for this one woman who is not of color. And that really speaks volumes about where we are in this country. We have a lot of work to do. We really do. We have to do a lot of work, and we have to push our legislators, we have to push our news organizations, and we have to push ourselves to post and write and call and share our stories and their stories with other people. I have so many people that write me on or on Facebook or on the street, or stop me on the street and tell me, I know that you bug a lot of people with your posts, but thank you so much for posting. And I don't, as Bono said, am I bugging you? Good. That's what I'm trying to do. I want to bug you. So I'm going to keep on bugging you. But this song, it unfortunately is still relevant, sadly.
It keeps on bugging you. The song keeps on bugging you, right?
It came out the year I was born, in 1971. 50 years later, the song is still relevant, and we have not moved past this song. We still have lots more work to do. I mean, I just watched a video of people swinging horsewhips at people who are people of color, who are Haitian, who are just really trying to get the safety. Yeah. There's other ways to do that. Yeah. But to actually be the the aggressor in that situation, not so much. You're basically putting them in the same situation they run from, and that's not okay.
No.
Anyway, sorry.
All right. Well, no.
No apologies, Craig. No apologies.
I know I'm taking up more time than I need to, so I'm sorry.
Needs to be heard. We need to be uncomfortable with it. We need to sit with it. We need to.
We need to get angry. We need to get angry. All of us. Get angry, but also get to work.
Yeah.
And Taylor and Liz, and I'm speaking to Liz for a second. This is part of the work, Liz. And Taylor, you being in the state house, you are doing the work. And thank you so much, because it means so much. And now that's also why I'm crying, because you are taking us to another level. And I had no idea how young you were. Good Lord, you better work. Doggone it.
I'm not even the youngest. Believe it or not, I'm not even the youngest in the house.
Wow. But at your age, do what you're doing and doing it so in a way that makes us all so proud. Thank you.
I could not do it without the work that has been done before me, and that still is being done by you, Craig.
I'm trying. I'm doing your best. And all we can keep doing is trying. I learned that from my dad. Dave, I learned that from you. We will never get it perfect, but we keep on trying. Love you, Dave. Love you, Dad.
All right, you guys. Let's hear some music. Thank you.
What's going on, Craig? I don't know. You tell me. Well, actually, Marvin said it best. Let's do that. Right? I think so.
He said it pretty darn good.
Yeah. And sadly, it's still appropriate for that. Someday.
Never too late to apply the powerfulness of it, though. Even hopefully one day it won't apply, but it's never going to not be powerful.
It's like history. It's like a history lesson. A moment in time. And once we're over it, this song's going to feel so good because look at where we were and where we are now.
And that's what's going on here.
Mother, there's too many of you Friday. Brother, there's far too many of you dying. You know we've got to find a way. Put some love in here today. Father, we don't need to escalate. You see, war is not the answer. Only love can conquer hate. You know we've got to find a way to bring some love in here today. Pick your sides, sister. Don't punish me, sister. With brutality, sister. Come talk to me, sister. So you can see, sister. Oh, what's going on? 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 Ooh.
Solo section there.
Just when you think it's right, it's not what's going on, it's what's going on.
Mother, everybody thinks we're wrong, but who would think to judge us simply because my hair used to be long? You know you've got to find a way. Bring some understanding here today. Pick your lines, brother. Pick your sides, brother. Don't punish me with brutality.
Oh, that was hot. Craig. Out. Craig out.
Oh my gosh, that was great. I'm not sure I've ever laughed this much, actually, in addition to tearing up on a show. This is a wonderful blend of kind of joyous, sort of enlightenment, connection.
We're riding the full roller coaster.
Full roller coaster. We are, and we have to ride it a little longer because we're heading into a whole other zone here because we have this amazing visitor to our virtual stage coming up here. Because we are about now, of course, I'm looking backstage and I think she's not quite here yet. So we will do what we do well as co-hosts, Taylor. We will
recognize that Craigan somehow is able to break that fourth wall, except not in the traditional sense. I've seen a lot of online shows, as I'm sure you have, and I'm sure other viewers have in this past year and a half. There haven't been a lot of other options. And sometimes it can feel a bit stale or disconnected, but wow, it felt like they were right here in the living room. It felt like they were performing. I had a solo performance right here.
So true.
I don't know about you, but that shine was felt. It was felt in that moment. And what an amazing performer.
What an amazing performer. I realize that one of the things we didn't ask him, and maybe Randy, maybe he can, in the chat, he can tell Randy if there's a schedule, Craig, of your next kind of where you're going to be when, or like if you can give us a link to that, because I think a lot of people are like, oh yeah, when can
do you
I
have a long enough comment section? Because Craig is everywhere, always, and that's exactly where I want him to be. I remember if I get the opportunity to book Craig as a DJ or in any of his forms, I have to get there like 2 months in advance because this man knows that he has the draw. People love, oh my God, Vermont loves you, Craig. I hope you know that. Could not have our scene without you.
So true. So true. Cool. Well, let me see. We're about to, maybe by the time I get done with my introduction of Maggie, she will actually show up. But I'm also thinking that maybe if Randy or Esme could send her the link again, we just want to be sure that she has it. And of course, being fashionably late maybe is a thing in LA. Who knows? We don't know. We're from Vermont.
Coming in live from the West Coast.
Yeah, I mean, right? Pretty cool.
Amazing.
So I was corrected. She is an I was going to say she was a national recording artist. I was corrected. She's an international recording artist. And you were not familiar with Maggie Szabo before this show. Is that right?
I had to correct myself on that one because I say this always, the name sounded very familiar and I had to do some digging before the show here today. It's because I got to be on a panel with a member of the Trans Chorus of LA earlier this year and talking about the way that trans representation shows up in the arts, in politics, in movements. And they could not stop talking about this amazing performance of Don't Give Up that they got to do alongside Maggie. And that was the moment I had to realize, and I'm so excited that she will be here to join us this evening. So I have not had the opportunity to meet her, but I've only heard just such amazing things.
Totally. And that's actually the song that she was going to do for us live. So hopefully we will get to see that. So let me... I will talk a little bit about, because she's very vocal. She's very, she's very public. She uses her platform. She talks about conquering social injustice. And yes, the Trans Chorus is a big one for her. And her platform, she has 15 million views on YouTube. She has something like over 15 million streams on Spotify. And then I didn't realize this. Well, she's got this media coverage from like outlets like Perez Hilton, Yahoo Music, Pop Crush. I didn't even know about Pop Crush, Huffington Post. And then apparently she's been on TV and in films like Netflix, on Disney, on ABC, on TV Land, on NBC. So,
and she's here with us today. Welcome, Maggie.
Hi, how are you? It was good, Maggie. You were giving us this was total co-host land. We were like, let's just fill the time. So it's good. It's good. You are perfect. Here you are. Fantastic.
Well, thank you.
So yeah, and just a quick, we were talking earlier about sort of our goals for Brave Troubadours and this notion of sort of bringing us together. And I just, we're talking so much about Vermont, and here you are across the country. Like, how are things looking in LA? And like, how are you like keeping hope alive out there? How you doing?
I mean, obviously with everything going on in the last year and a half, it's definitely like shifted the way that I work and a lot of the people I know in music, how they work. But it's been a challenge that I think was a good exercise for me because it forced me to end up learning how to produce more of my own music. And it kind of made me more independent in a way. And I've just been using the internet more as a way to connect with my listeners. And I did another live streaming show a couple of weeks ago. So, it's definitely shifted how we work and stuff. But it's been a great challenge, and I'm just obviously thankful for events like this because it's just another way to connect with people from places that normally, obviously, sometimes we can't, travel a million different places at once. So this is kind of a blessing in a way that we can all be here from different parts in the country, and we're all together, coming together for something really great like this.
Yeah, thank you. Well, treat to have you here. I want to give you the stage, and you're going to play "Don't Give Up." Yes.
Yes, I am.
Awesome.
Oh, can't wait to
Take
hear
it away. Take it away.
And so this song, "Don't Give Up," I wrote this a couple years ago, and I ended up doing a live video with the Transcourse of LA, and I've had the privilege of working alongside with them and getting to know every single member, and I've learned so much from their stories. So we've performed this song together at different prides and events around the country, so I'm very blessed to have been able to work with them, and this is "Don't Give Up." Everyone knows this world ain't perfect, but what you got going on, it makes you worthy. Any way you turn, or any way you slice it, someone's gonna get burnt, but those scars are truly worth it. One day you'll see that the answer you seek was in front of you, baby. Love is all you need when your back's against the wall, 'cause you feel you blasted up. There's nowhere left to turn and nowhere left to go. There is someone just like you who feels the same way too. Why would you surrender? Don't give up on love. On love, on love, on love. On love, on love, on love. Sometimes it feels things won't get better, but in time you'll realize nothing lasts forever. One day you'll see that the answer you seek was in front of you, baby. Love is all you need when your back's against the wall, 'cause you feel you blasted out. There's nowhere left to turn and nowhere left to go. There is someone just like you who feels the same way too. Why would you surrender? Don't give up on love, our love, our love. Our love, our love. When your hope is run away, don't give up. If you ever been betrayed, don't give up. When you find your last round, why would you surrender? Don't give up on love. When your back's against the wall and you feel you've lost it all, there's nowhere left to turn and no one left to call. There is someone just like you who feels the same way too. Why would you surrender? Don't give up on love. On love, on love, on love. On love, on love, on love.
Oh my gosh.
Absolutely stunning, Maggie. Absolutely stunning.
Oh my God. I know where the comments I saw was killing it, man.
Oh,
Oh my God.
thank you.
Woo.
And I think this show really highlights this this intersection of arts and activism, which I think is really embodied with this song. And just one question. Before you came on, I was sharing how I was on a panel earlier this year with a member of the Trans Chorus of LA who just spoke so highly of you.
Wait, who was it?
Oh, well, that is a great question. Okay. Names, I'll get that to you, but I'll get
There's
that
a lot of members.
I can only do so much research in a day, Maggie, okay? But getting to that piece, what inspired that collaboration with the Trans Chorus?
Well, it's funny because I wrote the song, and initially the song itself was just inspired just from kind of a bigger perspective that I wanted a lot of different people to relate to, of just like when things get really difficult and you feel like you just want to like quit everything and stop. That's kind of where the inspiration from this song came from. And then what really kind of, for me, made the song come alive was I ended up making a music video. And the story about the video was about a girl who struggled with her gender identity. And the feedback we ended up getting from that video was so amazing. And I was really inspired to have a story like that because trans youth, I feel like, need a voice. And of course, that part, like being a kid and struggling with your gender identity, I think can be a very difficult thing. And I just think their voices need to be raised and we all need to talk about it more. And so that's kind of where the inspiration for that video came from. And one night I had this thought, like, how amazing would it be if like we could get a group of trans adults to sing this song, basically to these kids that might be struggling around the country or around the world. Because I could just imagine as a child, if you're looking up to someone who's older than you, who went through all the things that you went through, and they're out here singing and living their best life, like I feel like that would be just an amazing thing to look up to. So I kind of put that out there into the universe, and then come to find out there's actually the Trans Chorus of LA. I had no idea they even existed as a group yet, and I was like so excited. So I reached out to Abdullah and Catherine, who are the leaders, and I sent them the song, and they were super amazing and stoked. So we ended up coming together for this live performance video, and we all rehearsed and we shot this video. And then since then, we've performed at a bunch of different Pride events around Southern California mostly, and it's just kind of taken off from there. And we've done a bunch of virtual events too. So it's been a really great thing. It kind of snowballed into something even more amazing than I could have anticipated. And that's how I met Catherine as well, who stars in the music video for Rebuild. So the video is about her life specifically and her story. So yeah, it ended up being this really amazing thing. And I'm just so proud of the progress they've made as a chorus. And just in the last few years, there's been a lot of movement and a lot of great things happening.
Well, one, thank you for reminding me of the name. It was Catherine who was on that panel. Perfect. Full circle there. And second, what a beautiful and inspirational message. I mean, one, in this for trans youth, and two, in the times that we're living right now, and really holding on to that message of don't give up, and that there is this light at the end of the tunnel. Thank you for this just beautiful song.
Thank you, and thanks for having me, and thanks for using your platform also as a way to create and inspire change and just to spread positivity. I think more stuff like this has to happen. Oh no, did I freeze?
No, we got you.
So I appreciate everything that you're doing as well, and it's just an exciting thing.
Yay. Well, did you want to, also, we're going to go to Rebuild next. Did you want to just offer a few words about that? You mentioned it briefly. Yeah.
Yeah. So Catherine, it's funny because when we met, I remember meeting the first day that we kind of got together about the Don't Give Up video. She's a fellow Canadian. She's from Ontario, which is the province I'm from. And it's funny, like anytime you meet another Canadian in LA, you instantly become friends and you have this connection, right? And so her and I had this immediate connection. And on top of that, she's just one of the most amazing humans I know. Her story is so inspiring, and everything that she's gone through as a trans woman, she just approaches it from such strength and resilience. And when she tells these stories of these things that she's gone through, she puts kind of this humor behind some of it. And she tells these stories, and she just, is such a great example of someone who's so strong, and they come out of the other side of something like that, and they are just so positive about it. And she's so generous with wanting to share her story with others as an inspiration. So when as I got to know her more and I learned more about her story, I just really wanted to see if we could make that come to life in a video, just so other people could really experience who she is and everything that she's gone through. So that's how that video came about, and that's Rebuilt.
Great. Well, it is so moving. So thanks for being with us. We will shift over to the video.
Yay. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, you're amazing.
Thank you. You're both amazing. I'll see you soon.
Okay. Sounds good.
Woke up with a million pieces on the floor. Know what it feels like to be living in the heart of the storm. I've been here before. Did some growing up after all the rain. I'm more beautiful after all the pain. And I got proof I can build it again. It's the only thing I know how to do. Been hurt, defeated, won't let myself lose. As lost as I'm feeling, I'll find my way through. We're back from a broken. It's the only thing I know how beautiful after the pain. It's growing up after the rain. And I prove I can build it again. 'Cause it's the only thing I know how to do. Been hurt, defeated, won't let myself lose. As long as I'm feeling, I'll find my way through. I will rebound from the broken. It's the only thing I know how to do.
Oh my gosh. Oh, okay.
That's the dance track I needed this evening, you know?
Well, and I'm thinking, I know what's going on in Craig's head now. He's like, all right, we are having a themed dance party at some point in the near future, and it will pick up on the themes of this show. But maybe I'm just planting the seed in his head right now, and we will go rock the night away. That is what is coming.
Well, I'm here for it either way. Either way.
Oh, he's already saying he's in. Okay, awesome. Anyway, what an arc here. Oh my gosh. Okay, Steph, Craig, you know, we've seen the footage. We've heard from Maggie with this national take. We're about to come back to Vermont now and you know, and get to know the Smittens a little bit, this amazing, amazing group. So the arts and advocacy is sort of alive and well here. And I know that, you know, you and I have talked about this kind of back and forth, but where do you think we're going kind of either as a state or a nation, you know, in terms of using the arts in this way, using the arts as this kind of draw and this magnet and this awareness raising kind of tool?
Well, I think we're in this almost renaissance of times where we're seeing unapologetic queer artists coming into their own and excelling. Not only have we seen that here tonight in just the Vermont artist scene, which is, I mean, I feel so lucky to be not only a part of this scene, but to be able to see all of these shows live and in person prior to this time is amazing. And on the national scale, I also, of course, think of Lil Nas X, who is changing the game for what it means to be a country singer, to be a rap artist, to do hip hop, to be unapologetically gay, and an unapologetic gay Black man in a time where, you know, all of that hatred is coming his way. There is so much hatred coming his way. And I think the power that he's exuding for, you know, folks like myself, but especially our youth, is showing it doesn't matter what they are saying. Turn it. Use that as your own fuel to keep doing this amazing work, to change the narrative of who we are and who we can be. And I think that's the future of the arts. That's what we've always needed from the arts, is to show us that future that we can dream into and that we can live into. And so I hope that, as I heard from Maggie, there's been this time of self-reflection, independence, changing the way that we're doing the work that we're doing. But I just can't wait until we are back together, if this is what we get to experience when we're apart.
Amen to that, man. That's great. Oh my gosh, beautifully said. All right, well, let's move on to the Smittens. Oh my gosh, there's just
another internationally recognized band, by the way. They did a whole European tour. I was so jealous.
Excellent. This is something I did not know. I was just going to share that because Craig talked about Outright Vermont.
The infamous.
Yes, and Dana, the head of the Smittens, maybe he wants to share that a little bit, but anyway, Dana, who is involved in the Smittens, is executive director of Outright Vermont. So that is a sort of a beautiful coming full circle to have, you know, Craig be sharing this moment with us and to have Dana now be coming to the stage with his group. So, and, you know, as you and I talked about before too, his identity as a trans person has just kind of found its way through his songwriting and into, you know, the way that he sort of steps forward and uses his platform. And so just in keeping with everything we've been doing. Did you want to share any more about the Smittens before we move in?
Well,
I know you can.
I know.
How much time do you have?
Liz, you know me. I can talk all evening about this folks.
Right.
So I'll only keep it to two things. One is recognizing that the Smittens will live on in infamy here in Vermont because of their song Stuck in Vermont for the series done by Ava Solberger with 7 Days, which is just amazing. Check it out on YouTube. See how quirky, wonderful Vermont is. And you will definitely visit in non-pandemic times. And second, extending more love to Dana, a mentor of mine, an inspiration for me and for so many youth, especially in his role as executive director. But also just being unapologetic and also very transparent in who he is, as we've seen in the transition of Smittens over time. And so what an honor it is to be able to introduce this band and recognize Dana this evening.
Yay, we're going to start with a video and then we'll circle back to see them live. So cool.
Great.
Right, you want a shaker for this song? Do you want that red shaker for this song?
Dana's daughter Rye on shaker.
No pressure, no pressure. 1, 2, 4. How was your day, dear? I've been wondering. I got my charger but forgot the phone. I bet you never made it through the end of season 1. Well, I've been wondering how long I'm gonna live for, browsing birthday cards at the Avenue A gift store. Text me from the air train. Which terminal?
That's beautiful and true. A stand of trees and a power light and some credit cards and a rental car and
I need to sleep now, hope it comes tonight. Full of caffeine and swerving words. Sometimes in the bedroom, sometimes not.
And something happens to the stones when they all roll away. It's animal and true. A taxi stand, some traffic lights, an Irish bar, that birthday card, and you.
Les Collinsberry on guitar, Missy Bly on melodica, Max Andrucki on the keyboards, David Zachris on the bass, Ollie Shagnon on the drums, and I'm Dana.
Awesome.
Okay,
Thank
I
you,
have to give a
Smittens.
shout out to Winooski. Oh, and of course the Smittens here. Welcome, welcome.
Half of the Smittens. We're 50% smitten right now.
So are you just Smit or 10?
We're trying to be 10s, but we're starting out Smits.
Okay.
Excellent. Oh my gosh. Well, we just get to turn the stage over to you guys for a couple of pieces. So make sure to tell us what you're singing. And if you want to give us some backstory to it too, that'd be great. And we'll just circle back after you do your thing.
All right. We'll play a song or two. And I mean, I think what's true about the Smittens often is that we feel like love is sort of the most radical of ways to be in relationship with each other, in relationship to oneself. And I think we try and be love, we try and project love, we try and act from a place of love. And this is a song that is an ode to that to some extent.
Missy's gonna sing this one, and in addition to all those other things, love is a word.
Mm-hmm. It's an action.
All right.
It is. Get up to that mic, Miss.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Love is a river that's moving forward. Love is a quiver of arrows in hand. River runs dry and feathers fly. Oh, love is a verb, it's an action word.
Love is a verb, it's an action word.
Love can chill the bone to the marrow. Love can lift your sense to the sky. Love is hearing and being heard. Oh, love is a verb, it's an action word.
Love is a verb, it's an action word.
Love is the rain falling from the sky. Love is a hand pulling you to dryness. Love is the brush that smooths the fur. Love is the blade that removes the bird. Love is the wings of a city rock dove. Love is the puzzle we are pieces of. Love is a bass and a light bulb string. Love is the bomb and love is the sting. Love is a road right through the mountain. Love is a bridge that spans the fjord. Love is a bath in a public fountain. Love is a verb, it's an action word.
Love is a verb, it's an action word.
Love is sensitive as a finger, soft as the hemlock forest turf. Love is a slug that's not shelled up. Love is an action word, it's a verb. 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 Love is an action word, it's a verb.
And we need another song called First Bus.
All right.
We can talk about it later if you like, but for now, we'll just sing it.
Yeah.
Ready? You getting close?
We got our things.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Everybody's falling apart these days. Life ain't got a hold of me.
Everybody's falling apart these days. Life ain't got a hold of me.
Everybody knows that you gotta play tough
if you don't wanna get beaten up.
Everybody knows that you gotta play tough
if you don't wanna get beaten up.
I disagree. I disagree with your theory.
Are you kidding, really?
Everyone I know agrees.
Everybody's falling apart these days. Life ain't got a hold of me.
Well, I rest my case on me.
Living takes a lifetime, I'll go crazy. Waiting for the ending.
It's
not the last bus out of town. I'm not a problem to break down. I'm not the thing to remember when you remember to remember.
It's never easy easy to fall out of the only gang in town. You're not the first bus to break down. You're not the first bus to break down.
Not the last bus out of town. I'm not a problem to break down. I'm not the thing to remember when you remember to remember.
It's never easy to fall out of the only gang in town. You're not the first bus to break down.
Well, I rest my case on me.
Living takes a lifetime, I'll go crazy.
I'll go crazy waiting for the ending.
I'm not the first train out of town. I'm not a kid to kick around. You're not the first bus out of town. You're not the first bus to break down.
You're not the first queen with no crown. I'm not a boy just hanging around. We can still get out of town. We can still get out of town.
I'm not the last bus out of town. I'm not a problem to break down. I'm not the thing to remember when you remember to remember.
It's never easy to fall out of the only gang in town. You're not the first bus to break down. You're not the first bus to break down. You're not the first queen with no crown. I'm not a boy just hanging around. We can still get out of town. You're not the first bus to break down.
Okay, y'all. I think we're supposed to say a little something, something. You coming back, Taylor, Liz?
We can. Absolutely. Hi.
Well, you asked.
Or
saying a something, something. Saying
Or
a
we could do
something,
that thing
something.
where we just sing it out. But those are the two that we were gonna do, and then we were gonna say hi, and then we were gonna.
We're going to bring you back after we, because you say hi, we talk a little, and then we're going to end right on time because that's my thing. So we have 10 minutes, and then we're going to let everybody go, and we'll all gather backstage and, So, so now, so did you want to explain that song? You said, well, maybe we'll explain the song later. But did you want to share anything about that song?
Was there anything about First Bus?
Well, I don't know. I think, I watch a lot of TV and there's a lot of shows that are all about prison culture. And you get in there and you have to beat somebody up to sort of demonstrate you're sort of alpha enough to survive this grueling place, which could be standing for the world. And our philosophy is more of approaching with more of a gentle approach, and that's a false narrative. And you can approach life with an open heart. And the other sort of popular narrative is that that's your one chance, to do, that Eminem song, here's your chance. Do you take that chance? And it's there's not only one chance, and I'm not the last bus, I'm not the first bus. There are multiple chances, and you don't have to pin yourself or beat yourself up on one thing, but allow yourself the opportunity to take your own opportunities.
That's great.
I think for me, when I sing the part of the song that I sing about, I'm not a problem to break down, especially in a queer context, there's something very empowering about being able to sing those words. Actually, F you, I'm great, I am whole, I'm doing me, and you might have a problem, or the world might create this setup that I am somehow off or confusing or different than the norm, but I'm good. I'm whole. I'm a-okay. That's what sort of resonates for me in that. I think Liz, you said earlier, Dana's band, the Smittens, we are beautifully and sometimes painfully a super collective of six folks with with all the beauty that comes with that. So we are sort of equal six parts, and I think that it's true that anytime there's something big going on for any one of us, that impacts the band in whatever ways. And so for me, in my transition and very much my sort of external transition has certainly had an impact on the band. There's been lots of ways, opportunities for us to shift and grow in accordance with that. But that is sort of one piece of lots of iterations of what we've been through together in nearly 20 years doing this thing that we're doing. So,
you know, also
Thank
I would
you.
say
yeah,
that you know, there's a part in the song where it says, you know, it's never easy to fall out of the only gang in town, because sometimes your circle feels like that's all you've got, and it's not all anybody's got in their life or in the world, and you have to learn that sometimes you move in and out of your circles, and that when you find a circle and then you find yourself separating, it's not the end. Like, you can grow from there. So I don't know.
Absolutely.
I got a thumbs up. I'll take it.
I mean, I just keep focusing on the words that are behind y'all as well, recognizing of outright hope, equity, power. And I think the one word that's missing, even from tonight, is love. Love, that action word. It's a verb, as I put it. And I have embodied that not only through song, but just in your explanations and who you are. And thank you. Thank you for being here with us tonight. And thank you for all the work that you're doing in our communities. Seriously.
Yay.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I have closing words, and then we're going to circle back to you guys for one more song. So it's been such a pleasure. So yeah, I mean, Taylor, can we wait? Let's do this one more time.
Oh my God. Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
It's like our hands disappear. It's like,
I know they should go through to the other side, but we don't have.
Well, that would be.
Wait, we
that
could
would be
wait. Look, long arm.
We
Ready?
could be like,
we could be the same arm.
oh my God! It's just two different colors of the same rainbow.
Colors of the anyway.
It's a metaphor. That's the whole evening for us.
It's been such a pleasure. Thank you, and thanks to our artists. I know Randy's been working the comments section, and so you're going to see links, to all of their information. And I guess I think maybe Esme, you want to scroll on the screen again, like tip these amazing artists. We really want to support their work. So if you can scroll that again as we're closing here. And don't forget to write to us as well and just tell us what you think about the show, what else you'd like to hear. In future Brave Troubadours, we do these every month. We also want to thank our underwriters, Mascoma, Winooski Strong, the ASCAP Foundation, Big Heavy World, Radiator FM. Just going to keep going. Next month's Brave Troubadours is October 21st. We're going to take a dive into youth empowerment. We've got amazing musicians who are kind of on the front lines of that work around the country. So be sure to stay in touch, sign up for our mailing list, like us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube or Twitch. All right, those were my announcements. Taylor.
Well, thank you, Liz.
Anything else?
Thank you so much for having me as a co-host, for organizing all of these amazing performers this evening, highlighting just what talent we have in the state of Vermont. But I think what is most powerful, and maybe it's a Vermont thing, maybe it is national, but I always like to think it's Vermont, is that the messages are so much deeper. And that I think the highlights that we've seen tonight is the power that art has. The power that art has in changing minds, how it has in changing politics, how it brings communities together to make that change actually possible. And, at the end of the day, it all comes back to community. And I loved what the Smittens were highlighting. Community is ever changing for the individual, but it's never leaving. We never lose our community. We always have our community. It only just changes forms. And so I'm glad to add you to my community this evening, Liz. And I hope we can collaborate again.
Oh, definitely. And what a gift you are to our communities of Vermont. So gosh, thank you so much. Awesome. Okay. So the Smittens. We can bring them back. They're going to play us out. Thanks, everybody. Let's thank our viewer audience. Yay!
Yes,
Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you, everyone.
It's been great to have you with us. And yeah, so Smittens, let's hear one more to play us out. And yay!
1, 2, 3, 4. Is it the year of happiness? We'll see. We'll see. If you believe in happiness, well, send some back to me. I was adrift on Lover's Lane till the warden came to town. I made my best escape till the decoy plane went down. Say it's the year of happiness, we'll see, we'll see. If you can picture happiness, well, picture some for me. Yeah, it's a new one, so anything goes, anything can happen, so let's start with a song. Let's start with a beat. Let's start with a 1, 2, 3. 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Thank you all. Be well. Keep fighting the good fight. Thanks everybody for being here. Take care of yourselves. Bye. End scene.